Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, this is Dave Engels. Can anyone hear me?
I can.
Okay. I'd like to join via video, and I get an error message that says you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it.
Ditto. I've got the same thing.
Okay. You have your picture I can see, Dave.
That's probably the best you're going to see of me. It was posed and photoshopped.
Okay.
So we are live. It says we are recording and live right now on YouTube. So
Good morning, Director. Good to see you. I see Auditor Racinas is on and Secretary Buchanan. Just the sound check. Anybody hear me?
We're here. Can you hear us?
I
Yes.
All right.
can. Madam Director, it appears we have a quorum. There should be some others that join us here relatively soon. Let's just wait a moment or two and then we can begin if we don't hear any more.
That sounds good, Mr. Chairman. I believe we're waiting for the treasurer.
And the superintendent will be out, is that
Mr.
correct?
Chairman, sorry, Mr. Chairman, yes, it's my understanding that the superintendent is unable to be here today, but I did provide her with the materials so that she would understand and know what the issue was.
Okay. Just give it a moment or two. Betsy is joining me. Madam Director, noticing that we're about 2 minutes late and noting that we have a quorum, I guess I wanted to ask Mr. Bump if the treasurer wants to join and we're in executive session. Will that be a problem?
Mr. Chairman, this is Jason standing in for Mr. Bump.
Thank you, Jason.
We're going to try to run a meeting here without any hiccups. But yes, if he wants to join late, that won't be a problem.
Okay. What's the pleasure of the board? Again, for the record, I note that I am here, Secretary Buchanan is here, and Auditor Racinas. What's the pleasure of the board? It's my understanding that Ms. Monger wanted to advise us on a couple of things in executive session.
Mr. Chairman, I would then move that the board move into an executive session for the purposes of receiving legal advice.
Thank you, Auditor. Secretary
Second.
Buchanan. There's a second from Secretary Buchanan. All in favor signify with an eye or a thumbs up. I think we have thumbs up across the board. We are now going to go into executive session. Thank you. Madam Director, I'll leave it to your discretion as to who should be in that executive session.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jason, are we going to utilize a different link for that, or how are you going to proceed with the executive session?
Yes, ma'am. And Mr. Chairman, a Google link has just been emailed to everybody that's appropriate for an executive session. So we will need to have everybody on this meeting mute themselves and to close their camera. Leave the Zoom meeting running, but you'll have to open up the Google Hangout that was just emailed to you to enter executive session.
Okay, thank you. We will be back shortly. And again, mute your phone or your mic.
So do we have to leave or do you kick us out?
Mr. Mayor, you can stay on the line. It's okay. You just won't be able to hear what they're talking about in executive.
Perfect, thank you.
Jason, this is Mark. I don't seem to have an emailed link. Where did you email it to?
Mr. Chairman, I emailed it to the governor's email address as well as Betsy's.
Okay.
Secretary of State, we're still looking for that on ours too. We're trying to get it forwarded to us, so stand by from us.
Very good, sir. Would you like me to email it to that address right now?
No, I got it.
Okay.
Betsy got it.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, can I get a sound check?
Yes, is that Ms. Monger?
You can hear me, but I can't hear you. Is that accurate?
I can hear you.
I
Can you hear us?
Okay, I may need to connect to sound by phone. Just a moment.
But she can't hear us.
Technology's great.
For those on here, the auditor's having a little bit of trouble with her sound. Secretary Buchanan is here. Treasurer Meyer, I think, will join here shortly. I think we have Director Scoggin on. I don't know if we have Ms. Monger from the Attorney General's office. Oh, we do?
Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you. Let's give it a moment to see if the treasurer can join us. Madam Director, attentive to everybody's time, I do believe we have a quorum. If the treasurer is able to join us, we'll certainly let him join us.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, this is for the record, this is a special meeting of the State Loan and Investment Board. There's one item on the agenda today, which is H1, to consider one application for a Chapter 3 emergency mineral royalty grant for the town of Clearmont, Wyoming. Essentially, OSLI originally received an emergency MRG application on June 5th, which was Saturday, from the town of Clearmont. They were requesting initially $300,000 in emergency grant funding to replace two 10-inch water transmission mains that serve the town. Apparently on June 3rd, 2021, the transmission main delivering water from the groundwater wells to the town's water tank sustained a catastrophic blowout. Their maintenance staff replaced a section of the main that sustained the blowout with a new section of pipe. The staff then repressurized the system and a second blowout occurred. The town was working as quickly as possible to restore the water main. OSLI staff engineer reviewed the initial application, particularly the project costs provided by the town, and expressed concerns that the estimate of $300,000 in funding was too low given the current COVID-19 related construction supply chain issues. Late afternoon on June 8th, OSLI received an updated emergency MRG application from the town in which their engineer, Mr. Engels, provided additional information on the project and increased the cost estimate for the project to around $500,000. That information came after OSLI had prepared and posted the board matter on the website. But that is the amended or updated request, as I understand it, is the $500,000. The additional information, as I mentioned, was supplied to the board and was provided on the website. And so the OSLI staff engineer has not opined on the additional information from the town. So that's where we stand, and I would yield the floor back.
Thank you, Madam Director. And I guess for the record, I've spoken with Mayor Rohrer, former Mayor Schock, and Dave Engels, the engineer, just to note that. Are there any questions for the staff from members of the board? And I, for the record, note that Treasurer Meyer has joined us. Any questions for the staff? Hearing none, Mayor Rohrer, would you like to address the board?
I would. I appreciate this. This is kind of a horrible experience at a horrible time. And I appreciate you guys willing to come together and to discuss this and to help us. Like I said, it's a small community, but water seems to be the livelihood of everything. I've noticed as my time in government, how many different committees and stuff there are related to water. We do have Dave Ingles here, and he does have some information and stuff for you if you're wanted to see his presentation. So most of the time will be turned over to him. He represents Engineering Associates, and they've been a great help also with this. And any questions that you guys have, please feel free to ask them, and we'll be glad to get those answers to you. And again, I really appreciate you taking this time to do this for us. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And it's always fun to be in a position like yours. And things like this happen. So with sympathy.
Thank you.
Any questions for the mayor? Any questions for the mayor? Hearing none, Mr. Buchanan, I don't know if you have any questions for Dave Ingles.
I do not. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Wanting to Auditor Racines or Treasurer Meyer, any questions for Dave Ingles?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Dave, boy, we let you off easy, but we'll let Senator Kinski address the board if he would like.
Thank you, Mr. Governor, and thank you, members of the Slib board. I appreciate you coming together on an emergency basis. I do also want to just take a brief moment to thank Jen Scoggins, Beth Blackwell, and Jason Crowder for all their work. This thing's coming down the pike very, very quickly.
Well,
I don't know. Are you able to hear me, Mr. Governor?
we can. Yeah, you paused there, so I didn't know if you had finished.
Situation is very fluid, and they're learning more with each shovelful of dirt they move. This iron put into the ground nearly half a century ago is in very fragile condition. And thank you, Governor, for your call to Mayor Rohr and the offer of assistance from the National Guard. They're taking advantage of that. In fact, we just had a situation meeting from 7:30 to 8 prior to this call, where the Homeland Security folks were coordinating with the town to make sure that there's fire safety and that everybody has safe drinking water. So with that, I just simply say again, thank you to all 5 of you for your time and consideration, and to staff as well.
Thank you, Senator. With that, what's the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Chairman,
Madam Auditor.
I would move that the board approve up to $450,000 in emergency MRG funding to the town of Clearmont to replace 2 10-inch water transmission mains, with the condition that no grant funds will be dispersed until the town is compliant with Department of Audit reporting requirements.
Thank you, Madam Auditor. Is there a second? It's been seconded by the treasurer. Is there any further discussion? Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify with a thumbs up or an eye.
Aye.
I have thumbs up from the secretary, an eye from the treasurer, a thumbs up from the auditor, and a thumbs up from me. That motion carries, Madam Director.
Mr. Chairman, that's the only item we had for the special meeting today. So our agenda has concluded.
Thank you, Madam Director. Thank you all for signing on today. If there is no more action to come before the board, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Auditor. Is there a second? It's been seconded by the secretary. All in favor signify with an eye or a thumbs up. I have thumbs up across the board. Madam Director, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Mr. Chairman.
everybody.